All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Tuesday, January 16th. It is set by Picaroon. I think I've had good luck with Picaroon in the past. Gabriel had a main role in this part of Scripture. Is Gabriel reference to an angel, archangel? But some part of Scripture. So I think it's going to be maybe a book of the Bible, but not getting it. Cave in Western America. I'm unsure about measure of the volume and breadth. I'm unsure about measure. No. Well, I'm unsure maybe is saying anagram I'm, which of course has to be mi, about measure of volume, like liter or gallon, and breadth. Nope. Giant tuna gutted and canned. I'm thinking this is going to mean giant. We gut tuna, in other words, just take out the inner letters. We have TA. Canned can often be a tin. Could it be a Titan? Ah, yes. So the canned question mark is because we take that TA and we put it in tin. And so in some way you can say those letters got canned, put in a tin. I don't want to jinx things. Getting tinder. I'm wondering if it's a word for what you might use to start a fire. Kindling. Flint. No. Big meal includes large, empty trifle, dish from France. So I think it's going to be a French dish, 10 letters. Maybe begins with B for big. Although that would be a funny ending of one down, T something, B something, but and then a word for a meal, lunch, dinner with an L inside it. Empty trifle should be ending in TE. And it's a dish from France. Well, blancmange has a French name, but I always think of it as being a very English dish. I'm leaving food that's picked up. So I think it's going to be a word for food, and you remove I am, and you get something that is picked up. Is that like rubbish being picked up or something that's heard? No. Dabbler in Oriental language, getting 0. Odd that they would use the word Oriental as opposed to Asian language. And then 8, 4. Oh, a dabbler is a type of duck. And 0 or duck can mean 0. What kind of duck is it that has a language? Let's see, that would put a K here in 8 down. They're used when retiring teachers drinking punch. I think this one may have some overlap between the definition and the wordplay. Retiring teacher could be Sir backwards, and it is drinking or maybe surrounding a word for punch. So could it begin with RI and an S, which is plural, so that fits they're used. They're used when retiring drinking. So now we just need a word for punch with a K. So I presume it's going to be a physical punch. But nothing is coming to me there. All right, does that T in Titan help one down? Fictional millionaire, not straight, taking in bank. Ooh, not sure about that. I'm thinking it's going to be a word for not straight, as in curved, bent, and then you put something for a bank. I don't know what a short British bank would be. Agree to limit consumption, getting a fine. Getting a fine, agree to limit. Yeah, maybe it's agree to. Must European Queen soon offend, put in the lead. Of course, could also be put in the lead. Must. No. Composer protested after changing direction ultimately. So I wonder if it's a 5-letter composer name. And you start with a word for protested, and then maybe change the final letter, which could be EN, S, or W for direction, change it to another direction. What's a 5-letter composer? List. Finzi, Grieg, Holst. No, not getting that one. One struggles with delivery vans in small towns, say, I'm turning up. No. I'm pleasantly surprised. Getting quite a lot of I'm here. After cold, salmon. No, fond of the Dutch, you said. Arsu bizarrely. No, not an anagram of Arsu because that's only 7 letters. You said suggests a homophone is in there, but not getting it. All right. Sons may be receiving company with crimson and green, dull ties. Sons may be. Children are offspring issue. Receiving company. Dull ties. No. Prepares for combat like touring Marines. Well, like could be as, and it's touring an abbreviation. Well, the Royal Marines are RM, so I think this is arms, prepares for combat. Let's see, does that help? Article in Le Monde. Well, that could be a French unlimited and not international. Article limited, not international. Well, local, domestic, no. Live with migraine symptom in seaside location. No. Ahead of a colliery in sports car traveling. It could be an anagram. 9 letters. Which sports car has ahead of a colliery? Is that an actual person, or could it be, what would you call the top part of the mine, I suppose, where you something pit. I'm not seeing an anagram of sports car. We only have 2 vowels to play with. Yeah. Cycling outing abandoned by Mr. Turner's partner. Well, is there a more famous Mr. Turner who has a partner? All I'm thinking of is Turner and Hooch. Not one of Tom Hanks's finest moments, I think. Well, I'm sure the film has its fans. But can I get Hooch to work? No, I don't think so. Quantities of drugs, say, Rishi smuggled into parties. Quantities of drugs could be doses. No. Father figure delivering the goods. No. Oh boy. I'm finding this very tough going after yesterday. Let's see. Unaffected by persuasions, taboo breaking women. Unaffected by. No. Parliament cites flawed study of good and bad regimes. No. Excited Kate Moss has recipe for English or German bread once. Could it be an anagram of Kate Moss? But that then seems too much verbiage for the definition. But I do think it maybe is an archaic name for German bread. Yeah, not getting that. Joining together son with family name from Dallas. Oh, boys. Somebody just mentioned the Dallas program to me recently. And I was remembering how big it was, especially in Ireland in the 1980s. So joining together, I think, is sewing, S, with the Ewings. I mean, that's very old cultural reference. Any young people doing the crossword, I wonder what the demographics are of the Guardian crossword. Maybe it does skew older for people who remember the Ewings. Anyway, that gives us a nice G in father figure delivering the goods. But not getting it. And so this is not hooch. A cycling outing. What do you say? I'm going for a spin. Abandoned by Mr. Turner's partner. Oh, could it be Tina Turner? Oh, so it's actually Ike. So a cycling outing is a bike ride, and if you take away Ike, you get a partner or a bride. I'm very impressed with myself for spotting that one. That is, yeah, that's one that I think when I started these about a month or two ago, I would not have got that, but maybe I'm starting to get in on their wavelength. All right. Most rum toddies will leave one drunk. Most rum toddies. No, not getting it. Leave one drunk. Banter very loudly after drink. Well, very loudly in music would be FF. FF. So could it be a quaff? No, or maybe it's FF after a short three-letter drink, and it means banter. Uh, yeah, I probably should get that, but that would put an F here. Father figure. I'm thinking more that it would start with pa or pop, maybe da. Figure. Oh, it is beginning with an F. So father is FR, as in a priest, father. And then I was thinking of figure, a number, and 8 with the G suggested itself. So freight. Good. So I think it might be something FF after drink. It's not TEA. Rum. Oh, no, not getting that. I wonder if this ends in BLE. Would seem to make sense. So maybe, yeah, the capitalization of persuasion, of course, wants us to think it's the novel, but I'm wondering if it's unaffected by persuasion. Somebody who is obstinate or sticks to their guns, unchangeable and swayable. But then what's taboo breaking women then would be the would be the word play. Oh, I wonder if it could be a word for taboo, like a ban, which interrupts a word for women. Yeah. No, not getting it. Here's our most rum toddies. We'll leave one drunk. Most rum, maybe, might be the. Yeah, so the most rum is the oddest. And again, this is quite complicated wordplay, I think. The only thing, I mean, it does have ODD in it, so I think it's toddies without the one or the I, and then it is drunk or anagrammed. So quite tricky. So live with migraine symptom. I'm thinking it might end in head. And maybe it is a geographic location in the UK that is near the seaside. Well, maybe it's a general term, but I think it might be. I know there's beachy head, but oh yes, I think it is actually. I think live is B, and a migraine symptom is an achy head. Ooh, okay. If that's right, it gives us this Y in unaffected by. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe unswayable. Let's put it in and see if I can make a case for it. So unaffected by persuasion is unswayable. Taboo. Breaking. Oh, I think it's actually the other way around. I think taboo is unsayable, and W for women breaks that. I'm not. To me, that just logically, that seems like it's the wrong way around. Women break taboo. Anyway, um, again, I'm probably wrong. Who am I to say this? Anyway, now our duck, something duck, dabbler. I think that's the definition. Oriental language. No, not getting it. But now our banter, I think, is chaff. I think that is a word for small talk. And cha is a nickname for tea. I think comes from the Indian name for tea, right? Ooh, so now our head of a colliery ends in A. Traveling, maybe. No, I think. But if it is an anagram of sports car, then that. Yeah, no, I don't think it can be. Could it be a something? I was going to say Ford Fiesta, but that's too short. Or we only have 3 letters for the first word. Da 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 da. All right, let me. I think I'm going to pause here, hydrate, and read through these again, and see if any inspiration strikes. All right, I've taken quite a bit of time to read through these, and finally, it was the composer. Just looked at a list of 5-letter composer names, and Eric Satie. And I realized if you change that final E to N for north, you get sat in, which could be a form of protest. Doesn't help with the part of scripture. There are books of the Bible that end in an S, Proverbs, Numbers. Isn't that a book? But not sure where Gabriel comes into Numbers. I was thinking 2 down, agree to limit consumption, getting a fine. Maybe the definition is fine and it could be not bad. But I'm also thinking there are words for a fine, like a scot, I think used to be a fine, as in you got off scot-free. Yeah, not getting that. All right, does Sati help with I don't want to jinx things, getting Tinder? It's very hard to see where the definition and the wordplay are in this. I don't want to jinx things. Oh, touch wood. And I think, is Touchwood an old-fashioned name for Tinder? I'm going to have to pause and Google that. Yes, sure enough. Decayed wood. Another definition is the soft white or yellowish substance into which wood is converted by the action of certain fungi, which then burns for many hours when once ignited, like tinder. And it also gives the synonym of spunk or punk. There you go. Never heard that term. All right, so here we have, I'm pleasantly surprised after cold salmon. I wonder if it could be a type of sushi. Or, how about mahi? Mahi? I'm really not up on my fish. Let me take a look at that. No, I think it would be mahi, so... But I'm wondering if maybe AH is an expression of pleasant surprise. I would think more maybe awe, AW, but... All right, have I looked at this one? One struggles with delivery vans in small town, say, on turning up. Oh, that's another one that's hard to decipher where to even begin with that. Here's fond of the Dutch. You said... Oh, it could be you being you, and then an anagram of our Sue. Oh, yes, and fond, uxorious, I suppose. I remember first hearing this word. Was it the screenwriter of The English Patient? It was one of those English films that won an Oscar back in the early 90s, I think, when there was this wave of British films doing very well. And he said in his speech, paid tribute to his wife, and mentioned that he was uxorious. And I think that was the first time a lot of us had heard that word. I hope I'm right, but I think that is it. All right, could that be helpful? I'm leaving food. That's picked up. Of course, that's could be i.e. I'm leaving food. No, and then 8 down, I'd put in this IR. Not sure that's right. Let me get rid of those. They're used when retiring. So maybe the definition is they're used when retiring, as in going to bed, and it's then just teacher drinking punch. So I could teachers again. It could be sirs, profs. Oh, could it be bed something? They're used when retiring. Bed hooks, bedlocks. No, I'm grasping at straws here. Here's our cave in Western America. I'm unsure about measure of the volume and breadth. Could it actually be a cave in Western America? I can't think of anyone that's famous. Could it be US and maybe a W for Western? Of the volume and breadth. No. All right, maybe I'll look up types of ducks and see if this one comes to me. Well, there certainly are a lot of ducks. Finally found the Mandarin duck, which sounds right. Now, that D, Parliament, I wonder if that could be Duma, cites flawed study of good and bad regimes. Parliament. Yeah, I'm not sure again where the definition is in that. All right, how about our European Queen? The second word ends in A. Must European Queen soon offend? Put in the lead or led? Look at that second word. B. It could be something EA. Put in the lead. The word must, I wonder if that could be throwing us off. Maybe it's the noun must. Put in the lead. No, not getting that. All right, I think I'm 34 minutes down. I'm going to take a break here. I think I was finished by this point yesterday, just not as easy today. Take one last look here. We do have that W. Green, dull ties. I do wonder if that last word could be brown. Dull ties. No, I'm going to pause here and get something to eat. All right, I've had my lunch and have my cup of coffee here, and I've looked again at the crossword. I have a few. Let's see if I can push this over the line to finish it, or if I'm going to have to give up on the last few. I did look at a list of Bible books, and of course, the obvious one I missed was Genesis. And so it's Peter Gabriel had a main role in this. Never really a Genesis fan, either with or without Peter Gabriel. So then the fictional millionaire must be Gatsby, and then, of course, it is gay, not straight, taking in TSB. Can't remember now what TSB stands for, but it's a British Building Society, or I suppose they're a bank, right? So then I looked at French dishes, and there is one called blanquette. I think it's chicken in a white sauce. And so it's obviously banquet is the big meal, including L for large, and then TE is the empty trifle. Um, so I do think this might be not bad, meaning fine. How do we get agree to limit consumption? Getting A. No, I don't understand that one. Maybe Graham can explain it to me, but let me go ahead and check this one. It is correct. Thank goodness. All right, so then looking at 3 down, must be the Latin phrase sine qua non, if I'm saying that correctly, which I think is something that you must have, indispensable. How does the wordplay work? Queen might simply be Q, or could it be QU? Anon, I think, is soon. It will happen anon. Sin, I think, would be offend. Yeah, offend is put in the lead. Okay, so sin is put at the start. Then we have European. Yeah, queen must be QU. Unless the U is coming from somewhere else. Anyway, I'm happy enough with that. So that's the top left finished. Did I get any of these? Oh, yeah. So this one, just looking at the word, the letters we have, and then I was thinking about dull ties. Well, in sports, I would say a scoreless draw would be a very dull tie, but I presume it is no score draws. And so we have, let's see, sons maybe I think is just an anagram of sons, NOS, and that final S. Receiving company, CO. Crimson is red, and green is raw. And altogether it makes no score draws. Article in Le Monde, I'm thinking it must begin with un for the French article, and then a word for limited and meaning not international. Oh, it just occurred to me, capped. If something is capped, it is limited. And if a football player is uncapped, they've never played for their international team. It's a bit of a stretch, but let me go ahead and check that. It is correct. And that gives us a nice P bob to start 25 across. Oh, so I do think it might be pit ahead of a colliery in sports car traveling. But I can't think what could come after pit. 27. Oh, yeah, this is another one I did get earlier. So I was thinking of quantities of drugs. I think I'd said doses earlier, but dosages. And I realized dues is often parties in these crosswords. And within it, we have sage. And Rishi, of course, they want us to think it's Rishi Sunak, but it is a word for a sage, a wise person in India, I suppose. Now, this excited Kate Moss, it could be still an anagram for Kate Moss. But funny that this would mean a recipe for English or German bread once. I'm wondering if it's something less, but then that would not be an anagram of Kate Moss. Let's use the anagram helper and see if that throws up anything. Eskmatos sounds good. Estmakos. No, nothing looking likely here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and reveal this one and see what it is. Oh, that would be a T if it was pit something. Does that help? No, I'm going to go ahead and reveal it. Ostmarks. So I think that is a currency. Yeah. So it is an anagram of Kate. No, it's not an anagram of Kate Moss because we have an R in there. Where did that R come from? Oh, I think, yeah, I think when it says recipe for English, we replace the E in Kate Moss with an R for recipe. That seems a bit of a stretch. And then we anagram it and we get German money once. I presume this is when it was East Germany and West Germany. The East German marks were called Ostmarks. All right, does that help me with the head of the colliery in sports car traveling? I wonder if it could be something to do with Porsche. No. Let me try getting. Oh, I don't think I ever looked at this one. A bunch of delinquents go north of the border. Yeah, so a gang is a bunch of delinquents, and the Scots word for go is gang. To gang astray, I think, is go astray in Scots. So per a head, of course, is per capita. Wow. Yes, these are can be excuse me, quite tricky where they break the phrasing where you get the definition. So it's simply a head per capita. Now, avicallary is, I think, the pit in sports, I think, is PE, sports at school. And then car traveling is, oh, this RCA. I think a pit is a colliery. Yes, clever. All right, this Parliament cites flawed study of good and bad regimes. And I'm wondering if it could mean regimes. What could the ending of the word be? Something like ETICS? Like politics, but something to do with regimes, dictatorships. Not getting that, so let's go ahead and reveal it. Dietetics. Oh, bad regimes, study of good and bad dietary regimes. Yeah, so a parliament is a diet, and then we have an anagram of cites or cites flawed. Dietetics. Yeah, I would never have thought of that. Okay, just the upper right to go. One struggles, I think that's going to be the definition, so it's something like a blusterer or a something error, like a flusterer. And what are delivery vans in small town say on turning up? No, not getting that, so let's go ahead and reveal it. Stutterer, okay, is someone who struggles with delivery. Oh, that's clever. Again, I think my struggle is always to know where to break these phrases. And of course, they make it difficult on purpose. That's the skill of it. So one struggles with delivery. So then we have vans in small town say on turning up. Yeah, not vans can be the vanguard, the forward part, right? Okay, in small must then be S. Town say. No, I'm not getting that. I mean, it does have utter within it. So I'm sure crossword compilers have used that before in their clues. But yeah, I don't fully understand that one. And I'm still at a loss about this cold salmon. Let's try 5 across then. Cave. Of course, could be cave, right, meaning beware, which I just know from, what were those books about the schoolboy Molesworth? And they'd all shout cave or cave at each other. I'm not sure exactly how you say it. When a teacher was coming. Cave in Western America, I'm unsure about measure of the volume and breadth. I do wonder if breadth, something like stature, maybe, but I don't get that, so I'm going to go ahead and reveal it. Oh, succumb. To cave is to give in, to succumb. In Western, oh, I think that's US going backwards is Western America. Oh, that's clever. I'll have to try and remember that for future. And then unsure about measure the volume, I think is CC. And then maybe is unsure. Measure of the volume and breath. So breath might simply be the B at the end. I'm not sure I got the I'm part. I'm unsure. Anyway, just 3 left. Pleasantly surprised. So it is after cold is C. Oh, and then is ahi type of sushi, but I don't know what kahi would be. So let's check that one. No, it's not that. Let's go ahead and reveal it. Coho. Oh, so I suppose oho is pleasantly surprised after cold. Let me look up coho and see what that is. Yes, it's a species of salmon. That's a new one on me. They're used when retiring, so this does begin with B. It could be bed. When retiring, teachers drinking. Oh, teachers again from those Molesworth type books can be beaks. Bed. So then drinking punch would be D something something. Oh my goodness, let me sip my coffee and think about that. No, nothing is coming to me. Bed hooks, bed, no, bed rocks. Okay, let's go ahead and reveal it. Bed socks, oh, of course. Oh, so hold on, it wasn't beaks then. Sock is punch. So then teacher, retiring teacher. Used when retiring, I think, has to be the definition. So teacher is then beds. How is beds a teacher? Don't get that. All right, final one. I'm leaving food that's picked up. Oh, not getting this at all. No. Ciao. I'm leaving. Wow. Oh, and it's a homophone for CHOW, food that's picked up. Oh my goodness. Very, very tricky. Am I right in thinking that in today's crossword and yesterday's, we didn't have a single hidden clue? I don't recall seeing one. Maybe there was one that I couldn't understand and it turned out to be a hidden clue. But that would be interesting if so. All right, well, disappointing, especially after yesterday's, but can't win them all. Thanks as always for watching and have a great day.